In this video, I'll show you how to program a new key for your Dodge vehicle using this simple key kit. This is going to work for these select Dodge vehicles that you can see on the back of the box: the Challenger, Charger, Dart, Durango, Grand Caravan, Journey, Magnum, and Ram. This particular product also works with these Chrysler, Jeep, and Volkswagen vehicles you see on the box, but that we will have to cover in a different video. Because of the codes that we will be using, this video is specific to these Dodge models, all of the Dodge vehicles that you see on the back there. If you're looking for something else, a different brand of vehicle or a different key type, check out our other videos on this channel and we should have something for you. Let's open up the box to see what we have inside. Inside, we have a user guide, a new key fob, a replacement button pad, and lastly, this is the easy installer. You want to check when you open up this box that the tag here, the security seal on the easy installer, is intact. It's not missing and it does not say void. If it does, you want to call the, there's a number in here. I'll show you that at the end of the video, but you'll want to call Simple Key or you'll want to just replace this kit because it will not work with your vehicle. One thing to note is that you need to have your existing key with you for this process, the one that's currently paired to your vehicle. Over here on the new key, the emergency physical key inside, you'll want to cut that at your convenience. You do not need to cut it before starting the process, but you should get that cut at your local hardware store when you have a chance. And the last thing to note is that if you have a push to start vehicle, this key, this simple key kit is not for you. This only works for Dodge vehicles that use keys, physical keys that you need to turn to start the vehicle. The first step, which is optional, is to replace the button pad. The key fob comes shipped with this 7-button version here. I've actually swapped mine out already. The reason you might want to do this is because you can't add button functions during this process. Whatever your current existing key can do, your new programmed key fob will do the same thing. So if you had this 7-button version and your existing key looks like this, you will not be able to use these buttons. So some people just prefer to switch it out to have buttons that represent what their key fob can actually do. So I'll show you how to do that now. First thing is just to pull this switch and remove the emergency key. And now over here you can see, try to get the light on there. This is where the key just came from. And on the other side, there is an indentation right there. You want to insert the key in there and pry, just gently pry, and these two halves will come apart. Now you can set this side down that has the battery in there. Gently lift up on the rubber button pad. Gently remove the circuit board. And just set this into the other button pad. With the, these circles will be facing down inside of the button pad. So just push that into place gently. And now we can put this back together. So just drop that in, secure it in place, and now we can click these two pieces back together. And you can put your key back in there, and now you have your new button pad. So you can skip that if you already had the button pad that you wanted. I'm just going to set this to the side. And now we can move on to activating our new key. As you can see on screen now, there are different activation codes for different models and years of Dodge vehicles. You want to write down the code that is associated with your vehicle. As you can see on the Rams from 2009 to 2012 also have an alternate activation code 312. Just try the activation process with the primary code first. If that doesn't work, if you run into an error, try the alternate code. And otherwise, if you don't have an alternate activation code, just ignore this step, and I'll walk you through that process right now. I will enter in the code 312, and we will do that by first pressing panic and lock at the same time. You can see this blue light has activated. That means we are now in the activation process, and we can enter in our 3-digit code using these top 3 buttons. So the first digit I will enter in with lock, the second with panic, and the third with unlock. So 3 presses, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Now I'll press lock and panic once more, and this light should blink back my code. 2, 3, pause, 1, pause, 1, 2. There we go. If your light is blinking rapidly, you'll just want to try that process again. You can try as many times as you need to. If you tried, if you're one of those people that have the RAM vehicle with the alternate code, if you keep trying and trying and it's just blinking rapidly, it's not blinking back your code, just try the alternate position. And now that you have that locked in, we can go over to the pairing process. So you want to move into your vehicle now with your user guide, your new key, your existing key that is currently paired to your vehicle, and the easy installer. The first thing we want to do is locate the OBD port. The OBD port looks like what you see on screen right now. That's usually down at the under the dash, almost at the level of the pedals. So make sure you locate that first. If you can't seem to find it, check your owner's manual of your vehicle to find out exactly where that is. Now you can get in your vehicle, close all of the doors, make sure that it is in park, that it's off, and you can turn your hazard lights on. We are now going to set the dial position of our easy installer. So as you can see here, there's this little dial with 8 numbers. We need to reference the user guide, or I'm actually going to show you right now on screen what number corresponds to your vehicle. So based on your model and year, you could have a variety of different codes. You want to remember that code, or rather just turn your dial to that position right now. And as you can see, Rams made between 2013 and 2014 have an alternate dial position. So what you'll want to do is start this pairing process that I'm about to show you with the primary position. And if you're running into errors, I will also go over those errors at the end of this video. But if you're running into errors, just try the same process again with the alternate position. Once your dial position is set and you are in your vehicle, you can now start the engine with your current existing key. You can now remove the seal from your easy installer and firmly plug this in to the OBD port. Once that's plugged in, you'll want to wait up to 8 seconds and listen for 3 quick beeps. Once you've heard those beeps, you can move on to the next step. Turn off the engine, remove your old key, and now we have some options here. If your dial position was set to 4 based on that previous chart, you'll want to insert your new key, the one that isn't yet paired, and just insert it into the ignition, but do not turn it. From there, you can move on to the next step. If you had a dial position of anything other than 4, you'll do the same thing. You'll insert your new key into the ignition, but you will turn it to the on or run position, which is the position just before starting the engine. Do not start the engine. Now we can move on to the next step. Once your key is in the ignition, you'll press the button on the easy installer right here. You'll press that once. You'll once more wait up to 8 seconds and listen for 3 quick beeps. Once you've heard the beeps, you can remove your new key from the ignition and simply press this button once more. If everything went correctly, you should hear a chime sound. And if you heard that chime, that means you have successfully paired your new key and you are finished. We can just now remove this from the OBD port. and you'll want to test both of your keys, your new and your old key. They should both work. You can actually continue this process to pair a total of 8 keys using the same easy installer. This will not work on other vehicles, but it will continue to work on your vehicle. So now that you have 2 keys, you could pair 6 more, and you do that just by activating your key and then starting the process, the pairing process from the beginning where I showed you. I will quickly go over the errors and the frequently asked questions in this guide to maybe help you out if you're running into anything like that. I would first like to point you over here on page 9. We have a technical support number. You can see that right there. Any difficulties you're having, you can go ahead and give them a call and they will help you out. But some of these issues we can solve ourselves. So, frequently asked questions. If the easy installer beeps 8 times after pushing the button to initiate the pairing process, this is telling us that 8 keys have already been paired to our vehicle, which is the maximum. So you will not be able to continue the process, and the solution is that you need to call them. Call them over at that number, and they will get you sorted out. Here we have the question, can I use the same easy installer on other vehicles? No, you cannot. Once it is used on your vehicle, you can continue to use it on your vehicle, but it won't work on others. That's why we always want to check the seal on the easy installer to make sure that it hasn't already been used. Here it says that the easy installer sounds 2 or 3 beeps at 1 second intervals 3 times, then beeps continuously. These are indicating 2 different errors. If it is beeping 2 times at 1 second intervals, that is just telling you a different way of telling you that your device has been used on another vehicle and it won't work. So you'll need to call them, get yourself a new key. And if you hear 3 beeps at 1 second intervals, it is not detecting your current working key during the process. So you need to have that key. You actually need to have all existing keys with you inside the car, close at hand, on hand, during that process, because it needs to detect all of those keys. So just make sure you just have all of those with you, and you should not run into that problem anymore. Here it says that the new key won't pair to my car. Usually what the problem is just an incorrect dial position. That is only going to apply to some of you that have that RAM. I think it's 2013 to 2014 RAMs have the alternate dial position. If the pairing process just isn't working and you have the RAM, a RAM from 2013 to 2014, go ahead and give it a try with the alternate dial position. And if you want to start a pairing process again, you need to start over from 0. So you will need to remove the OBD port. You'll need to remove the easy installer from the OBD port, turn off the vehicle, put it in park, and do everything fresh from 0. And the last thing we have in here, the second to last, is what if the easy installer is unplugged during the pairing process? That isn't a problem. You'll just need to start again from the beginning of the pairing process. So same thing. If it gets unplugged, just turn the vehicle off, remove all the keys, and start again. And the last thing, if the vehicle won't start with the new or old keys after attempting to pair, they're just telling you to give them a call at that technical support number, and they will help you out with that. So that's all that we have in the user guide. That's the whole process. I hope you successfully paired your key. These things are really great because you'll save a ton of money doing this at home compared to going to the dealership. So let me know if it worked for you, and thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.